Hey guys, I'm Maurice and welcome to this video where if you clicked on the video, then you kind of have an idea of what this is about. So as a dad on a budget, because I'm a dad on a budget, and somebody that likes gadgets and cameras and all that, one thing that I'm always finding myself doing is going online, and I'm constantly checking prices and also checking, like, you know, what cameras are out there, you know, what cameras are getting good reviews and things like that. And I've actually had people ask me, you know, like people that maybe are interested in buying a camera or don't know where to start. And I always kind of direct them in a similar way, kind of like, well, you know, there's a couple ways you can go about it. You can go for the best budget option, which tends to be like what everybody wants to do. And then I kind of give them some options as far as like what I would get if I had the money, if the budget allowed. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. This is a two-part video, so hopefully you're watching part one. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 budget options that you can that are for cameras. 5 budget options for cameras if you're a content creator. Or even if you just want a camera that can take some decent stills of your family, and you also want to capture some good video. Like, you know, back in the day, my parents had the big camera over the shoulder video camera that took the big VHS tapes, and we would have to bring that thing. And then my dad had his Nikon film camera that we would shoot our family photos with. So we would have to have these 2 cameras with us. And then obviously video cameras got smaller. We had the little Sony camcorders that we would carry around, but even the stills on those things were horrible. The quality was really bad. We're at a place now where it's amazing because we can get one camera that can basically do both. So without further ado, let's hop right in. I got my computer open right here. I got my little cheat sheet right here. I got my mystery drink right here, and we're gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna go in reverse order. So number 5 is our basically not so much the cheapest option, but it's the easiest option. So you ready for this one? Most of you already have one. It's your phone. In case you were kind of curious, it's your phone. Yeah, nowadays, you know, whether it's your iPhone or an Android, I use iPhone. The camera on these things are amazing. I used to vlog with the number 2 camera on the number 4 camera on my list. I used to vlog with that, and I find myself vlogging with it less and less because this is so convenient and the quality on this is so great. And especially now that they've, you know, most of these iPhones have like multiple cameras. You have like your regular camera and you have your wide angle camera. So what I find myself doing a lot of times is literally just flipping the camera, not the selfie side, but making sure the good cameras that are on this side are pointing at you. And as long as you're using the wide angle camera of your phone, you can basically just hold it out like this, and it's gonna look like a great vlogging setup. These things, because they're phones after all, and they're meant to capture your voice when you're this close to it. However, the microphones on it are not that bad. And the good thing about these phones is that if you get the right adapter, you can basically just plug in your little lavalier. I did a video, you know, a while back. You can check it out. I'll link it below, where I talk about the cheapest budget lavalier, wired lavalier microphone that you can find on Amazon. And guess what? I'm using it right now. It's the Pop Voice. I'll link it below. I did a video on it. Your phone is a powerful tool. It takes great pictures too. I mean, I find myself using this a lot more than the camera that I'm shooting this on, which is not the best at photos either, but this is pretty good. Now for, you know, if we want to do our Christmas card photo or some family portraits and things like that, yeah, I break out the more professional DSLR. But honestly, the quality of this thing, and most people use the photos that they take for social media anyway, so everybody's looking at it on a little screen anyway. So your phone is number 5. It's the most viable option. It's not the cheapest because iPhones and smartphones in general are not like super inexpensive. You do have to buy them, but at this point, almost everyone has one. So the best camera is always the one that you have on you. Number 4 on the list, I hinted at it before. It's the camera that I use for vlogging. After my phone, it's the next camera that I use for vlogging. It used to be the only camera I used for vlogging, and that is my GoPro. This is the GoPro Hero 8. I have it in the little media mod, and I have it on this little Ulanzi mini tripod, which is great because it's like a little mini tripod. You can put it down wherever you want to go, and actually it extends, so it gives you a little selfie action, and this is great for vlogging as well. You don't really need the media mod. The sound quality on this, the Hero 8, now of course we've had the Hero 9 and now the Hero 10. The microphones on it are pretty good. Like especially since when you're vlogging, you're basically like really close to it anyway. You can tell in the shot, but there's actually like a little microphone right in front. So you don't really need the media mod. What's good about the media mod is that it gives you a little cold shoe on the side and on the top if you want to put a light or whatever, but you could also put a microphone on top of it. And it gives you the little mic input on the back, which is very convenient as well. So if all you have is this, like if you already have a GoPro, use your GoPro. I mean, you can put it on a tripod as well. You can light yourself and try to use the manual settings on this as best you can, using the same rule of thumb that you would use normally if you're shooting a video. Make sure if you're shooting at 24 frames per second, you can switch the shutter speed on it to manual mode and make it double that. So you would put it at 48 or 50, whatever's around the close to it. If you're shooting at 30, double that is 60. And then you could just adjust your light. Like I'm using the ring light that I keep mentioning in my past videos because it's really cold in my studio still. We're still in winter here in New York, and I've been using this ring light as my main light source for a while. Again, this is a great option if you don't want to use your phone. Plus, this is waterproof. I mean, not in the media mod, but if you take it out of the media mod, it's waterproof. You can go to the water parks with them, take them to the beach, to the pool, do all kinds of fun stuff with your kids. And the video quality on it is pretty good. It's not that great in low light situations. That's why you want to make sure you control the light. If you're doing a lot of outdoor stuff, it's fine. If you want to go with this camera right now, the Hero 8, which, the Hero 8's been out for a while now, GoPro is selling it for $279. You can get it for $279. You can probably get it used on the used market for even less than that. It's a great camera. If you want to upgrade to like the 9 or the 10, I would say go for the 10, which is the latest model. It has all the bells and whistles, and it's right now it's $349. So you can think about it, but if you want to get something that you can also take like on vacation and do a lot of sports and action and the beach and the water and all that kind of stuff, it's a handy camera to have because they're very durable as well. Picture wise, the photos are probably on par with your cell phone. And most cell phones nowadays are water resistant and waterproof to some degree. So, if you're gonna use it for travel and you want convenience and you're on a budget, just stick with your phone until you're ready to kind of upgrade to a more bigger, camera or whatever. Now, number 3 on my list is a camera that's been out for a while now. And it's a famous vlogging camera actually, because a lot of people have used it in the past, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people still use it, and that's the Canon makes it. It's the Canon G7X Mark II. There's a more recent release of the camera, the Mark III, but if having an external microphone is very important to you, like you want to up your game, then I would say go for the Mark III because it's only $100 more. It's $749. Right now, as of recording this on Amazon, $749. And again, it's 4K, has a flip up screen, has a mic jack, and it has a really good lens. You get a nice wide angle lens. The f-stop of that lens goes all the way to 1.8 If you want to take some nice photos, you want to be out and about with your family, I highly recommend something like that, especially if you're on a budget. Now, $749, you know, you could, sometimes it goes on sale if you do like Amazon Prime Day or like Black Friday or things like that. If you can wait, I would say if that's something that the camera that, you know, you look at it, I'll link it all below. If you like it, you know, go for it. I think that's a pretty good deal. I mean, for what you're getting a good portable camera, Canon, good quality, good colors for photos. You know, what else can I tell you? It's 20 megapixels, it's a 1-inch sensor. And you know, the lens is the equivalent to 24 to 100. You get 1.8 f1.8, which means when you're vlogging with it, you're gonna get some nice blurry backgrounds, which is nice. Honestly, and actually at one point I was considering buying one of these as my second camera because my wife does a lot of cooking and baking and DIY videos, and I was almost thinking of setting up one of these cameras for her because of the ease of use, so that she can just turn it on and hit record and start, you know, doing things. And then if I'm helping her with a shoot, I can just jump on this camera and set up this camera as kind of like a second camera. So we have a second angle, especially like when you're cooking and stuff, maybe do like an overhead shot or whatever. Number 2 on my list, that was a long-winded number 3. Number 2 on my list is a camera that, quite frankly, if I didn't have this camera that I'm shooting on right now, this is the camera I would probably get, and that is the Canon M50. The Canon M50, from the moment this camera came out a few years ago, it's been the kind of the choice budget, all-encompassing camera for YouTube and for vlogging. It's a mirrorless camera. It uses the Canon M mount lenses. So it's an interchangeable lens camera. So we're moving up, you know, we're not just phones and action cameras and point and shoot. This is a camera now that you can put lenses on. There's a Mark II now. So there's a Mark I and Mark II. The Mark I is discontinued, but if you go to the Canon website and you go to their store and you search refurbished, or even on Amazon, if you search refurbished, you can probably still get one, and you can probably get it for probably under $500. The Mark II right now, just the body, retails for $599, so $600. But then, you know, you have to factor in a lens. You have to, you know, put a lens on it. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna give you some options. The bonus at the end of the video, if you stick around, I'll give you some options for lenses as well. But the M50, what's great about it is that it does shoot 4K, it's cropped, but it does shoot 4K, so it does have that option, you know, that upgradability. It's 24 megapixel, it's Canon, so you're gonna get that great autofocus, you're gonna get the great Canon colors, you're gonna get great video quality, you can put different lenses on it, it's great for stills photography, it's really good for video, it has your mic inputs and for your microphone, and it's small, it's relatively small. Now I'm shooting right now on this Canon DSLR, and this is probably one of their smallest DSLRs. This is the SL2, which now I think there's an SL3 that does shoot 4K. This is very similar to the M50, although the M50 I think probably gives you a little bit more bang for your buck as far as it being a little bit newer and have more bells and whistles than this guy. But honestly, if I didn't already have this SL2, I would probably replace it with an M50. You can even buy an adapter so that all the older Canon lenses will fit on this M50. But Canon is also starting to put out their own line of M-mount lenses, and that category is growing, that catalog of lenses is growing. Now, the number one pick here is not a Canon camera, which is, you know, you're gonna be like, wow, you didn't go with Canon. That's crazy. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go with the closest competitor to the Canon M50 is where I put as my number 1 pick, and that is the Sony ZV-E10. It's a mirrorless camera. It was basically created with the vlogger, content creator in mind. As I'm talking, I'll put some images on the screen. As you can see, it has, you know, it has that little fuzzy thing on top, so that if you don't want to put a microphone, you can just use the built-in microphones. It has a flip out screen. It has that great Sony autofocus and the great Sony low light capabilities. And it's, you know, I mean, right, even in the description, it says perfect for vloggers. So, you know, it's an APS-C sensor, so it's not full frame. None of these cameras that I mentioned are full frame, but that's, if you're starting out and you're looking for something on a budget, that's perfectly fine. I don't think anybody, the average person that's gonna be looking at your photos or looking at your video, they're not gonna be like, oh, you didn't shoot this with a full frame camera. You know, like, nobody's gonna really nitpick in that regard. It's small, it's portable, and it uses interchangeable lenses. So now you can get this body and it can be just like with the Canon M50, the Canon M50 #2 and this Sony ZV-E10, I should say. Both of these cameras are like the perfect entry-level camera to get into each of those systems. So if you're gonna go Canon, M50 is a great camera to start with, because then even if you upgrade to a better Canon mirrorless camera, you now have a lens that will be compatible with it. And if you grow your lens collection, now you have lenses that fit on both of these cameras. The same thing with Sony. If you get this Sony E-mount lenses, there's so many Sony E-mount lenses. Sony makes a lot of great lenses, and there's a lot of other companies that are making great lenses for Sony, just like they are for Canon. So it's basically, it kind of gets you in the door. This, from what I've read and from what I've seen as far as reviews and test footage, this looks like a great camera. You can, you know, just to give you a couple of the features, it's a 24 megapixel as well. The flip out screen is 3 inches. It's very fast autofocus. You can do 4K at 30 frames per second. And you can also do, in 1080p, you can do 120 frames per second. So that's pretty cool for slow-mo and all kinds of stuff. And again, it's marketed as the perfect camera for vloggers, and you can get some nice stills. You can take some nice photos with it. So those are my top 5 cameras that I'm considering right now in 2022 are probably the best options for starting out, for creating content, or if you're just looking to get a decent camera to do some nice videos or take some nice photos of your family. I'll run by them one more time. We got your phone. Get yourself a nice GoPro, or get yourself a nice point and shoot in the Canon G7X Mark II or Mark III. But if you then really want something that you can then kind of future-proof yourself, in the sense that if you want to get serious one day and upgrade your gear, if you want to go Canon, M50, and if you want to go Sony, ZV-E10. So those are the top 5 cameras. And now, as for a bonus, because you stuck around to the end, I'm going to give you a couple of quick recommendations as far as lenses. Now, what's great is that, like I said before, a lot of companies that are not Sony or Canon make lenses for these cameras as well, and they're less expensive. Canon lenses are expensive. Canon lenses, any camera maker, the lenses that they make are the most expensive for the camera that they make. That's the way it is. So if you want a budget option, you want to go Sigma or Tamron. Really, Sigma is, I think, the one camera lens company, and they're a camera company too, but they make cameras as well. But they've been making some really good lenses specific for these cameras. So whether you're gonna go with Canon or Sony in this entry level, kind of like getting into one of these two systems, and you're looking and you want to get just like, let me just get a lens that I can do vlogging and, you know, just an all-around lens, and you're okay with it not being a zoom lens, this Sigma 16mm is probably the way to go. You can get away with using the kit lens that these cameras, a lot of these cameras, they'll come with a kit lens, which is usually a little zoom lens, like maybe like a 15 to 45 or something like that. But if you want a good lens for low light, for that blurry background, the Sigma 16 is a great option. It's a 1.4. But now, if you want some other options for lenses, again, I said Sigma and Tamron are good lenses to take a look at. This is what I would do. And I'll link some lenses options below in the description. But just to show you, like what my method is for searching, usually I start out, I'll go to like B&H. B&H's website, B&H Photo Video. It's probably one of the best websites to go to if you're looking for gear or of any sort. And then usually from there, I'll look at their prices, and then I'll just compare it to like Amazon, just to make a comparison. So I'll go to B&H, I'll go to photography, I'll go to lenses, then I'll go to mirrorless lenses. And then I'll check off, as for brands, I'll check off Canon, Sony, Sigma, and Tamron, those 4. Then I'll scroll down and I'll make sure that they just show me lenses that have gotten the most stars. And then as far as lens mounts, I go to the part that says Canon Canon RF, Sony E mount, Canon EF mount. And then I scroll down to where it says zoom lens type, and I check off wide and wide zoom. So that narrows it down to 57 lenses. Then I just basically go to sort from lowest price to highest price. So it'll show me the best price first. And right off the bat, the best price that it's showing me right now is a Tamron 24 mil that's 2.8 for $249. That's not bad, 24 mil, although 24 mil is probably a little bit too close. Like for example, this lens that I'm shooting on right now is a Canon Pancake lens. It's a 24 mil and it's a 2.8. However, one of my previous videos where I talked about how I converted this lens into this wide angle lens that you see right now, it's with a wide angle adapter that I screwed onto the front of the lens. So that's how I'm getting this shot. Otherwise, it would be a little bit, the camera would have to be further back in order for me to get this shot. And if you're interested in how I did this, I'll link the video. You can check it out. Right now in 2022, this is probably the best option that I can see. If there's something that I miss, is there maybe a camera that's not on this list that maybe should be on this list, let me know in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. And coming up in the next video, I'm gonna give you not the budget cameras, but I'm gonna give you my top 5 picks for content creation and photography that if I had no budget right now, if I had, if I could splurge, I would go for these 5. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, please make sure you like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful for those that are kind of like on the fence, looking around, trying to explore options. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Check out some of my other videos. I'll link some below. All the cameras that I mentioned, I'll link below in the description. And until next time, guys, keep striving and keep looking. I'm gonna keep searching for the best budget way to get the job done so that you don't have to break the bank. But I'm gonna keep looking, and let me know in the comments below if you find something better. I'll keep looking over here, guys. I'm not gonna rest until I find it. Keep looking. Are you still watching? All right. I hope you click one of these videos over here and like and subscribe. Do you guys like Camera Conspiracy? He's a good YouTuber. I would check him out. Camera Conspiracy. Go check him out. He's funny. I like his outros. They're kind of similar to this. This is in honor of him. So make sure you like and subscribe.